Probably God.
That's exactly. That's why I stand
No.
by my number one ideology, which is the fact that men can never be feminists. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
How is life?
My life just the.
So I'm going to try my possible best not to overtalk, because one of the reviews I got is that I talk too much. And since I'm going to be a constant face here, I should let my guests express themselves. So there's going to be a lot of. Please continue.
Of me talking.
Yes.
That's no pressure.
No pressure. No pressure at all. But how have you been, generally?
I mean, I've been okay. Navigating adulthood, all that boring and intense stuff. But generally, I'm here, enjoying.
Something has been crossing my mind. Someone posed. I heard a question being posed. I don't know where I heard it from, but something I've been asking myself: would you rather live the life you're living now, with all the adventures and uncertainties, or would you want to pick a particular way your life should, go? And by the way, it can be the best life. Like, there's no restrictions. You can either pick being born to the wealthiest family in the best country, in the best state of that country, being with the best person ever, everything. You can structure it like you're beginning to your end, and you're just playing the role. Or
what stupid adventure am I having now? I don't like that question. Before the question is even done, I already have my answer.
So what is your answer?
Please let me pick and structure the life that I want. I don't understand this adventure I'm on.
Really?
Like, adventure and uncertainty over picking and literally building the life that I want, and all I have to do is show up and live it.
Yeah. I actually would prefer. I would not want, because that would be a very boring life.
Being guy is boring.
It's not like I'm boring. No. It is just.
You are the one that's supposed to cut soap for everybody watching this.
No. Trust me. Life is not. Everybody knows life has shares of ups and
but
downs.
like $10 life is not easy. It's not the same as.
But I feel
life is
no.
not
But I honestly, because as bad as your life, as bad as everybody's life is, and everybody's life, as challenging as it keeps becoming, the excitement of finding out who you are, and the excitement of going on that journey of who you can become, I feel is the best feeling in the world.
No,
compared to knowing.
So I mean, it only becomes the best feeling in the world where you're at the point where you're like, okay, so this is where all of this has led me to. But that journey in itself is not pretty. There's nothing
I'm not denying that
it.
the journey is not pretty, but that is what it is. And there's a probability that at the end of the day, for some people, it might not have been worth it. But for some people, you hear a lot of people say, if I had the chance to do it all again, I won't change anything.
I mean, like, okay, maybe if you still get to pick the type of life that you're going to live, right? If I'm going to have to choose that I'm going to be born into a very rich home, I don't have to think about money, I'm basically just set up for life. There are still things, I still get to have that thrill of not knowing what is next. Maybe, but then it translates in a different way. Maybe I don't know, am I going to do this summer? Where am I going to spend? Where am I going to have tea tomorrow?
No. But you know that
that's kind of
the uncertainties of life are what made you into who you are. Like the fact that the becoming of life, the transformation of yourself over
what
time.
I'm saying now.
No, but hold on.
If I was now rich, like Dangote rich, that uncertainty will now mean that to this summer, will I be in Italy?
Because how do you...
will I be in Spain? Let's wait and see. Just
yeah. Because I
today, because I hardly wear makeup, so I want to be able to have my eyebrows.
Because I feel like
intact. I
want to let you to ask this question. It's something completely different, but if you can see the similarities. Someone said, or I heard someone say, hold on, sorry. I heard someone say that, and they were trying to bash men, and I think it was a tweet, also they put on Instagram, that would you want your daughter to date? No, I can't remember but like it was something like, as a guy, would you want your daughter to date you?
Someone like you.
Yeah, in the ploy to say all men are scum, men are terrible, and men will not want the same for the other. And I thought that was a really stupid question.
How so? It allows men to reflect on their life choices.
Because even as a woman, would you want your son to date someone like you?
It's easier to answer that question as a woman.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
It certainly is.
It is not. Because each and every individual has their own problems, and they have their own... everybody has... So, there is enough to be... There's no... You can't be 100%... You can't be a saint. As much as saintly as you are, you have your demons. And as demonic as you are, you have your angels. So, even as a woman, you cannot say... Because you can be 100% loyal, you can be very caring, you can be very agreeable, you can be excellent at your job, have a wonderful attitude, but there are still things about you that you don't agree with. That is how humans are.
I don't think that.
So why would you now want your son to just take
No. I don't think that person asked that question not having in mind that nobody is 100% perfect. So that person posed that question to men for them to look inwards. It's more for men to now understand the fundamental problems that most men have.
Not most men.
So please.
I don't think it's most men. Because you haven't met most men. There are a lot of men.
Okay, if I have met 10 men in my life, and 8 of them are a certain way, would you tell me that doesn't mean that men fundamentally have like a problem?
No. Because the remaining 2 can categorize for another 2 billion men.
No. So I'm talking about the 10 men I've met in my life. The remaining 2 are useless.
But hold on.
If they cannot influence the remaining 8. Because now my entire life is shaped by these 10 men, with only 2 being sensible in quotes. And the 8 I still have to encounter them throughout the rest of my life.
So because of 8 men, you are generalizing all men?
No, I'm not generalizing all men, but that's the reality of most women. Most women would meet more bad men than good men in their life, and a
lot of men will meet a lot of terrible women than men.
But when you speak
about a fact,
not really, because when you speak about terrible women, you talk about basic things like, oh, she did not smile back.
Oh no,
or she's just not a happy. But when women are complaining about men, you are talking of more fundamental issues.
So hold on. So here's something, Men, the issues with men are, and I'm not trying to downplay the problems that men have. You understand? What I'm trying to say is that the issue with men are mostly superficial. Mostly superficial.
How?
Mostly materializing of women.
How is that superficial?
It is.
Wait, I think I'm struggling to understand what you mean by superficial.
They are surface things. They are not. No, now they are surface things to the men. I'm not saying the effect it have on women. I'm not talking about the effect it has on women. But here's what I'm trying to say. as much as I don't believe in generalization, maybe that is maybe I should
Yeah, you
say
can
that.
afford to not believe in it because you are a man.
No,
Yes, you
I
can.
don't think so.
You can definitely afford to not believe in it because you are a man.
No.
As I was coming for this shoot,
Yeah.
I had to share my location with like 7 million of my girlfriends.
Yes.
Why?
Because
And it's not necessarily because that man has given me any reason to question the kind of person that he is. But because I know I've heard the stories of other women who have entered Ubers and have been harassed or have, I don't know, they just have some negative
the
experience.
So the point I'm trying to make is that there are also men who have had stories of women charming them against their will. They've had stories of women, having their babies and keeping it from them. There are a lot of things. So I don't think because here's the thing, men are not outspoken.
Who's holding them?
No. Here's the thing,
Men only want to talk when women are talking. There will be silence, so everybody pin drop silence. But let a woman say, men are this.
Yes,
men have it too. Women do it.
Yeah.
Please, why have you now been silent all this while?
Because you don't believe. See, first of all, men don't generally
It's an
believe.
attempt to shut women up. Because
No,
that's
I
the
don't
fact.
think so.
If you guys do not say a thing, nobody is trying to downplay that men go through these things like rape, things like abuse.
Yeah.
But it's very, very futile if the only time you feel the need to bring it up is when a woman is speaking.
So
then what really is your point?
Because I don't think men. So here's the thing. I don't think men do not generalize women the way women generalize men.
And you should generalize.
No.
I ask again.
See, the victimization of men. There's a Yoruba saying, and I'm not the best advocate of the Yoruba people, so and my mother is, but I think it has something to do like toba tiwere, so give. I don't know, but in English, it is basically saying that if you push a madman, and keep pushing him, at the point the madman reaches the wall, like once his back is against the wall, and the only way to go is forward, you have to run because he will show you his madness.
Okay.
Same thing with men. I feel like because literally, people victimize men. Let's not see. I get that women are going through a lot, but let's not deny that a lot of men are being victimized. The same way, the same way you can say that if it happens to one woman, it happens to all women. Yeah? The same way you can actually make the same. There's no double standard about it. The same way you will say that if it happens to one man, it happens to all men.
What happens to all men?
Okay. If a man rapes a woman, one raped victim concerns all women, and which, just like you said, the man did not do anything to you, but you had to share your location just because of stories you have heard. I'm telling you that there are as much stories now. We are not talking about the quantity of stories out there, but what I'm trying to say is that if women can take a select, because they are select, the same way you see a woman that has terrible history with men, the same way you can take a woman that has the best history with men. I truly believe that there are women that have good things to say about men. There are people in happy relationships. Now let's not even go in there, but what I'm trying to say, I think, is that if you keep victimizing men and you keep putting out that theory that all men are terrible, and he doesn't even have to do anything to you, the fact that he is a man, you already have to put your guard up, because there's a demon lurking that is in all men that can come out at any point in time, and we women are the ones who are taking the brunt of it. At a point, men will say, see, we can't take it anymore. Do you understand?
What would they not do?
That's why I don't know. But it's not going to be pretty.
So let me tell you why that is problematic. Because that entire ideology already centers men. So you're telling me, as a woman who has probably faced abuse of some sort, right? Or have experienced it. My friends have experienced it. My family members have experienced it. you're now telling me that, okay, regardless of the fact that if I know 10 women in this life and all of us have a story of abuse, when I meet a man, I should first give him the benefit of the doubt.
Wouldn't you, as a person, wouldn't you want to be given the benefit of the doubt? And as a person,
That it's
when someone meets you
it's
for
not
the first
it's not
time,
a relation. It's not, you cannot relate that with this.
but you're generalizing it. And as the fact that you're generalizing, I'm also
No,
saying
so
that
it's a fact, right? It's a fact that women.
facts are debatable. Everybody has.
So
everybody can decide to look at a specific thing and pull factual statements out of it. It depends on what you want to look at. It depends on what you choose to look at. Now, I'm not trying to say that there are not more than enough examples of things going wrong with men, and men, using their power and their. But
You still believe in them.
you should give each man the benefit of the doubt.
So,
You
I
know,
think you men can give each other benefit of the doubt, but
Because-
women, please,
well,
just I don't know about benefit of the doubt, because if it's your lived experience, if it's something that you've experienced for yourself, if you've seen it happen to your family and your friends,
well, okay, so
then no
you're
man
saying
is entitled to your benefit of the doubt.
you're saying it. So, are you trying to say that nobody also is? You are not.
I'm not entitled. Even me as a human being,
Yeah.
nigga, if I came in here now and you wanted to search my bag,
Yeah.
because every girl or every person who has come into your house has
Oh,
robbed
I'll give you a perfect example.
has robbed you.
I'll
What am I
give
to say? Oh, why can't
I'll
you
give
give
you.
the benefit
I'll
of
give
the
you. I'll
doubt?
give you
You
a perfect.
search my
I'll give you a
bag.
perfect example.
I can't believe this man now.
Because I'm a man. That's the problem. Oh God.
That's exactly.
No,
That's
no,
why
no,
I
no, 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 no.
stand by my number one ideology, which is the fact that men can never be feminists. They cannot. The men who carry it on their head, the men who champion it the most, they know that feminism will score them cool points, whether at work or on social media. So they carry it on their head. There's this male feminist influencer. That guy, each time he tweets something, no matter how much I agree with it, I'm always looking at it through the lens of this one is just trying to score cool points. Because feminism is not a.
What is feminism?
Well, let me finish. Feminism is not a. It's not a. What's it called? An influencer thing. It's not something to make you look cool. This is women's experiences. Like, you cannot afford to belittle it and reduce it to a couple of tweets. A couple of tweets that undermine women. A couple of tweets that sound condescending to the people that the movement was made for.
Okay.
Especially by a man. How dare you? Like, it's just very wrong. And like, I don't know.
So can you define feminism? What is feminism? Because here's my problem. I have no, and usually I say all these things sometimes, and people always say, "Why?" It doesn't really concern me. If I'm being like, if I'm legit being very honest, when I say a lot of feminists, to me it just seems like people picking up ideologies that seem just without totally understanding and being able to defend it. So I'm trying to explain to me what feminism is.
Oh, so even if I'm going to explain it to you for the sake of this video or talk about feminism, it's not an attempt to justify what I do.
No. I was making a general statement.
I know, but generally, right?
Yeah.
Men generally feel the need for you to explain or justify or get them to understand. Honey, that's not my job.
No. So that's like double standard because.
No, it's not double standard because there are too many resources.
No.
There are too many resources available online for you to now come and talk. Because generally, when men do it, it's because they feel like they can argue it with you. They want to teach you that this thing is not relevant.
No.
You don't need to tie yourself in feminist.
So here's the
But my
in an office scenario where I should I be honest with you, I do not like feminists.
Okay.
I do not like, not like I do not like I'm not against feminism. I do not like people who, I do not like ideologists. People who pick up an ideology just because it seems like a worthy cause. Like if you have a
so you
cause,
don't think it's a worthy cause?
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying people who pick it up just because it looks right. You know, you are challenging the status quo. You are part of the worthy few that sees the problem in the society and want to dismantle it and bring out something more something that has more equilibrium. That's basically, if we try to explain feminism in the most insignificant way, we are looking for equilibrium. We are looking for equality of outcome. You know, which I don't think is possible. But and I'm not really trying to say, oh, you're a feminist, defend yourself. I truly want to understand what you, as a person who believes there's something fundamentally wrong with the way the society is being handled now. What you understand by what is your understanding of this cause you seem so passionate about? If you can, it's not compulsory. If you feel like,
the thing is, so at the base of it, if you probably check your dictionary, feminism is the belief that both genders are equal.
do you believe that?
Of course I believe that both genders are equal. Feminism is the belief that both genders are equal. And then there is also the definition that, but then here's the thing.
Would you mind if I interject as you're talking? Just try to understand things better.
Okay, you can ask me questions. Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. So Chimamanda,
the mother of feminism,
the love of my life, my mom, my second mom, said something I think is really powerful that I always try to mention whenever I'm talking about feminism or defining it to anybody. Is that when you're trying to so you asked me whether or not I believe men and women are equal. I do believe it, but then that's not our reality as a society. And I'm saying a society in terms of Nigeria and a society in the world at large.
Even biologically,
No, it doesn't have anything to do with biology. You can't change biology, but that doesn't mean that because I'm a woman, I should not have access to certain things based on my biology. I did not get to choose that.
Oh no, I'm not talking about access to things. I'm talking about.
No, definitely biologically, men and women are not the same.
Yeah.
But right, a sane world would be that my biology does not hinder me from certain things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Chimamanda says that to solve a problem, you have to name the problem. And the problem is that it is women who are treated unfairly. It is women who are treated as less equal. So feminism is a movement for women. People often say that, oh, why is it feminism? Why is it not I don't know, they're just people have come up with like different names. That why is it women? Why is it focused on just women? What about men? But it's women who have the fundamental problem. So you need to sort of level the playing field, and then we can now champion for both of, like, for the two genders.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So you have to first call out the problem, and that's where I believe most of the drama is. Because then women are calling out the problem like, oh, this is it though. In the workplace, you're not treated equally.
Alright. So
in the home, you're not treated equally.
So here's my problem. Is that when we talk about equality, where do you draw the line for equality?
Draw what line?
Now you say you and I'm trying to play the devil's advocate. Nobody should come for me. I'm trying to play. Someone told me from my last video. Someone said that if Twitter was still active, they would have dragged me on Twitter. But so here's what I'm saying is that you want to champion equality, but even there are so many. Okay, so men are likely to work longer hours than women.
Why?
Because men are likely to work longer hours than women.
I say why?
Because men are likely to work longer hours than women. That's the woman's problem. Yes, it is the fact. Men are likely to work.
I want you to. You cannot.
Men are likely to work outside. Men are likely to do more risk-intensive jobs.
I say why? why are men likely to work longer hours?
Because women do not do those kind of things. Sometimes, okay, so yeah, so here's the problem is that when I hear people arguing about equality, they're talking about, you're always talking about it from the position of, okay, business executive, board of directors, clinical. 90% of men are bricklayers, 90% of men are carpenters, 90% of men are electricians,